You're sitting there scrolling, 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 convincing yourself that tomorrow will be different, that next week, next month, next year, you'll finally get it together. But here's the truth. Nobody else will tell you. The world doesn't wait. Your dreams don't wait. Your potential doesn't wait. And the clock is merciless. Every second you waste is a second someone else is seizing what could have been yours. Every choice you make today either builds your future or buries it. And right now, I'm talking to you because I see something inside you, a spark that hasn't fully ignited. You can feel it, can't you? That tiny voice whispering, I could be more, I should be more, and yes, I know. It's tempting to scroll one more video, check one more notification, or convince yourself you're sting. But let's be honest, your phone isn't going to pay your bills. And it certainly isn't going to shock anyone, except maybe your cat if it falls off the couch while you ignore it. Today, I want you to choose a choice that will make your life unrecognizable. A choice to focus on your goals with a relentless intensity that will shock everyone, including yourself. I know what it feels like to drift through life, to wake up with the best intentions and end the day wondering where the hours went. I've been there. I've felt that gnawing disappointment when the clock ticks, and you realize that the person you hope to be hasn't arrived yet. And the truth is, nothing changes until you decide nothing at all. Focus isn't just a skill, it's a weapon that cuts through mediocrity, laziness, and the excuses you hide behind. Every time you focus, you're building momentum. And momentum has a funny way of shocking everyone around you. You start moving, taking action, showing up, and suddenly, people are staring, wondering how you did it. I remember mentoring a man years ago, talented, intelligent, full of potential. Yet he drifted. Every day, he waited for motivation to strike, for the perfect moment, for someone to hand him his breakthrough on a silver platter. And every day, opportunities slipped through his fingers like sand. One afternoon, I looked him in the eyes and said, "The world owes you nothing. Every day you wait is a day your dreams grow cold." That moment, he decided to act. Within 6 months, he was transformed. Not just in career success, but in energy, confidence, and presence. That's the power of relentless focus. And let's get real for a second. You might think focus is boring, that discipline is restrictive. But here's the secret. Freedom doesn't come from doing nothing. Freedom comes from mastering yourself. And mastery begins with focus. Every day you give your attention to the right things, you create a life that shocks even you. And every day you waste attention, you're stealing from the life you could have had. Ask yourself, which life do you want? One that leaves people staring, or one that leaves you staring in regret? Now let's dive deeper into procrastination. That silent, sneaky thief of dreams. It doesn't just steal hours. It steals confidence, momentum, and even belief in yourself. Every time you delay, every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow," the universe quietly moves on without you. Opportunities don't pause for indecision. Success doesn't wait for hesitation. I once met a man, brilliant, resourceful, full of energy, had ideas that could have transformed his life, yet he procrastinated. Every day, he told himself, "I'll get to it later." Weeks became months, months became years. By the time he realized what he had lost, he was frustrated, bitter, and questioning everything. But here's the thing, it wasn't too late. He chose to act. He started with small, deliberate steps, and within 6 months, the same people who had dismissed him were staring, shocked at his progress. The transformation wasn't magic. It was focus, discipline, and the courage to start. And let's face it, procrastination often feels safe, doesn't it? If I wait, maybe I'll avoid failure. But here's the kicker. Waiting doesn't prevent failure. It guarantees regret. Procrastination feeds fear. Fear feeds doubt. And doubt keeps you trapped in a life you weren't meant to live. You must ask yourself every day, am I moving toward my dream? Or am I letting life pass me by while I scroll? Scroll, but here's the part. Most people never understand. The same fear that keeps you frozen can, if harnessed correctly, be your greatest ally. I'll show you how to turn it into a weapon that will shock the world. Now, Let's talk about shock. Not the kind that makes someone gasp, not fireworks and applause. I'm talking about the quiet, unstoppable kind. The shock that leaves people whispering, how did they do it? This shock comes from ordinary people doing extraordinary things consistently. It comes from focus and discipline that no one sees until the results explode. Years ago, I watched a young woman in a small town. She had nothing but a dream, a plan, and unrelenting focus. People laughed at her ideas. They doubted her. And yet, she worked quietly, daily, never complaining, never seeking attention. And one morning, everyone noticed. Her results were undeniable. Her impact, unavoidable. That's the shock factor. You don't need permission to succeed. You only need the courage to show up consistently. Do you want to shock the world? Then start by shocking yourself. Push past your limits, confront your fears, and every time you win internally, the world will react externally. And here's the part that surprises most people. The biggest shock isn't the moment of success. It's the transformation along the way. The growth, the strength, the resilience. And if you can endure that, the world has no choice but to stand back and watch. Let's make this real. You need habits that compound, daily actions that accumulate, choices that multiply over time. Here's the framework to dominate your goals. Clarify your vision. Don't be vague. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Visualize it with vivid detail. Every day, remind yourself who you're becoming. Break goals into daily actions. Huge goals overwhelm. Micro actions win. Do one thing every day that gets you closer. Consistency beats intensity. Eliminate distractions. Protect your mind. Your time is sacred. Social media, negative people, idle chatter, remove them. Track progress relentlessly. Without feedback, you wander, measure weekly. Ask, am I closer to my goal than yesterday? Adjust, repeat. Commit to lifelong discipline. Focus isn't temporary. It's a lifestyle. The more you live it, the more people notice, and the more they wonder how you did it. And yes, eliminating distractions is easier said than done. That notification buzz at 11 p.m. It's not just a buzz, it's a test. Who wins? You or the app? Choose wisely. I've seen people follow these habits casually and see incremental results. And I've seen others who live them relentlessly and shock everyone around them. What separates them? Not talent, not luck, commitment. And here's the catch. These habits only work if you act daily. Miss a day and the dominoes wobble. Miss a week and you risk watching your momentum collapse. Will you let that happen? Fear and doubt are sneaky. They whisper lies, tell you to wait, tell you to stay small. I've felt them, I've wrestled them in silence, and I've conquered them. Here's the principle. Fear only has power if you give it power. Doubt only controls you if you listen to it. I remember a man mid-40s who had dreams but feared failure. Every day he stayed stuck, telling himself, I'm too late. I told him, you're not too late. You're just choosing fear over action. And when he finally acted, the results weren't just success. They were liberation. The very thing he feared became the catalyst that shocked his entire world. What fear is holding you back today? The fear of failure, rejection, or looking foolish? Here's the secret. When you face it, when you act despite it, it loses its power, and you gain something infinitely more valuable, confidence and momentum. But even courage alone isn't enough. There's one principle, one secret, that separates the people who succeed from the people who only dream. And if you miss this, your effort could be wasted. Consistency. That's it, daily, focused, relentless action. Most people wait for inspiration. They wait for motivation. They wait for perfect conditions. And while they wait, life passes them by. Consistency beats all of that. It compounds quietly, invisibly, until one day your results explode and everyone notices. I've seen ordinary people working quietly, consistently, every day for years, suddenly rise to a level that shocks everyone. It's not magic, it's not luck. It's focus, discipline, and refusal to quit. The secret? They acted daily, no excuses, no shortcuts, no distractions, and the results unstoppable. And yes, some days you won't feel like it. Some days, it's boring. Some days, you'll question if it's worth it. That's exactly when consistency counts the most. That's when ordinary people quit, and extraordinary people shock the world. And here's the part most people miss. The real shock isn't what you achieve. It's the person you become along the way. That transformation is impossible to ignore. And it starts today. So here's the question. Will you remain ordinary? Or will you focus, push, and shock the world with what you are capable of? Will you let fear, doubt, and procrastination dictate your story? Or will you seize control and live a life that demands attention? The choice is yours. And it starts right now. No excuses. No waiting. Take control. Take action. Shock everyone. And most importantly, shock yourself. And if you want to take this even further, if you want to improve just 1% every single day and see unstoppable compounding results, click here next end screen. Link to improve yourself 1% every day. Trust me, your future self will thank you.